In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, Master of Day of Judgment. Thee alone do we serve, and thee alone do we seek help. Asking God to guide us on the right path, the path upon those who have bestowed favors, not upon those whose wrath is brought down, those who go astray. For surely praise and magnify. Amen. We're coming with podcast 294, titled What the Side Chick Should Know. I want you guys to get prepared for some great information on what the side chick should know. Give me 1 second. If you haven't already watched Savior's Day by Minister Louis Farrakhan, I advise you to go watch that historical moment, wisdom, prophecy, teachings that is actually taking place as we speak, as I speak. How y'all feeling out there, dear family? Dear family. How y'all feeling? Miss Scott, how you doing? Mm-mm-mm-mm. How y'all feeling out there, man? Miss Scott, how you doing? I'm good, trying to figure out how to share this with some side. Just tack it onto your page tonight. Oh man, we gonna get started in about 5 minutes. Other than that, man, it was a very great Savior's Day, and we're gonna start this podcast in 4 minutes. Go on and get your popcorn and go and get your whatever you need to get. good evening, dear family. You seem to be on CNN. How you know? I was looking at. We're gonna get this podcast started in 3 minutes. What the side chick should know. You need to be on CNN. Oh, I am on there. I've been watching that. See what's taking place in Russia is prophecy being fulfilled. It has to come to pass, or we could call both books lies. It's very important to understand the times, to understand the nature of things. You have to study yourself in terms of scripture, and everything what's prophesied is just playing out, and it has to play out in order for you know um, the people that have been in bondage for so long be set free. But certain things have to take place first. So this is God's process. Don't nothing happen unless it's the will of God by his active will or either by his permissive will. So what we see in the coronavirus hitting the earth, or we see war, this is pestilence, this is famine, this is all those things that scripture reveals and what scripture talks about. We're going to start this podcast in 2 minutes, titled What the Side Chick Should Know. Ukraine taking up arms to defend their country. See, what's happening is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches that look towards the European nations. He said that there will be a war in Europe, and America will be tricked into a war, according to the teaching of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And they will leave by the tens and the thousands to defend their resources in other countries. And they will come back by the fives and tens. And he said that European will look like a graveyard. And this is what the scripture reveals when it says Satan, in the last days, Satan will be casting Satan. First and foremost, you have to identify who is Satan. And what did it mean? What does it mean by Satan, casting Satan, fighting? It means fighting. Satan fighting Satan. Who was Satan? Judge the tree by the fruit it bear by its characteristics. So when you identify Satan, it's the rulers and high places that are wicked in thought and manipulate the public and destroy the public. And so when Satan is casting Satan, know that the end is near. What that really means, dear family, is when white people in high places and white people in other high places can't get along and have differences and start killing one another. It's not our fight. Stay out of it. With that said, we got 1 more minute. We're going to start this podcast. This podcast is titled, yes, it is ready, already in motion. Lucifer himself is living and guarded by a Swiss Army. Yep. What the side chick should know. Now, I tried to start this podcast, what the side chick should know, maybe about a week ago, before Savior's Day, and God had shut my mouth. I could not come up with nothing to say, and that's happened to me before, and it's bracing a major assault, and that happened to me before. But nevertheless, I think that by the grace of God, I'm here to not disrespect no woman or man, but to give you some advice and give you a greater understanding. Because it says when you understand, you slow to anger. Yes, and it's already in motion. Do anybody want to come on this podcast with me so that I can, we can set dialogue. They're working on my book right now as we speak. Shout out to D. She's transcribing my book, Healthy Relationships Include Uncomfortable Conversations. And that book will be an ebook on Amazon and so forth and so on. So y'all get prepared for that book. Healthy Relationships Include Uncomfortable Conversations. And that's very important that you have uncomfortable conversations in order to strengthen relationships. And when a relationship is not strong, it's because it's either too much of something or not enough of something. And what we want is balance, because balance is the key to success. And sometimes things that people do irritate you and you hold it in and it affects your spirit. And so the relationship is not healthy. So uncomfortable conversations, healthy relationships include uncomfortable conversations. Let's get down to this conversation, dear family. Cousin P titled, What the Side Chick Should Know. Side chick. I want to take my time on this. It's probably going to be a three series part, but we're going to expand coming off of healthy relationships include uncomfortable conversations. When men are dealing with multiple women, when men are dealing with multiple women, let me say this part. There are men that are on the side of a committed relationship, as well as women on the side of a committed relationship. And the question is, why is it that there's a man on the side of a committed relationship that a woman is in, and why is it a woman on a side in a committed relationship with a man in a committed relationship? The word I'm looking for is not coming to me, but it's very important to understand why things happen. And you're able to prevent so many things from happening. Men watch women's conduct and their character. Women watch men's productivity and how they treat them. 100% dissatisfaction brings about 100% change. Sometime in committed relationships, we fall victim to emotional attributes that affect decision making because we're not being treated properly, or we feel or we feel like the person is not given as much energy, time as we are given. And so we feel sometimes depleted. There's both man and a man committed relationship as well as a woman's committed relationship. And sometimes we feel depleted. Sometimes we feel that we just need a break. Sometimes we feel like we're making no progress. And so within those dissatisfactions, they actually bring about a change. Bring about a change in direction and where you want to go, because you start to second guess yourself. Did I make the right decision based on trial and tribulations in committed relationships? So what we tend to do is start searching for things that make us feel better than what we feel initially. I'm going to say that again, dear family. We start searching for things that make us feel better than what we feel in the moment. And out of that committed relationship, we start to get into relationships or create friendships that feed into our egos. Baby, you look good. Taking you out, doing the things that you wish could happen in a committed relationship, but for whatever reasons, it's not happening at all. And so when a man feeds a woman ego, because a woman has ego as well, she get caught up emotionally and get attached physically. I'm going to say that again. The woman gets caught up emotionally because she's being fed something that she don't get at home and it tastes good. And she starts to get caught up in the attractive part, the physical part, because now energy is so transmittable that not only do the conversation feel good, but the nature of man and woman is to feel in harmony. So sex plays a significant part in feeling good. And so sometimes you find in other people that you meet what you would hope to be in the man that you committed with or the woman that you're committed to. You may find a woman that have great attributes about herself and not will strike that. You may find women that have great attributes about themselves that's attractive to you that your woman doesn't have. And so when the argumentative conversations and the back and forth, people who get kicked out their house and so much dissatisfaction, man nature is to seek peace. Woman's nature is to seek love. Two different natures. I'm going to speak on them shortly. Peace and love. So when a man is uncomfortable in his own home, when a man is going through it with a woman that don't want to listen, that think that she know everything but knows nothing, or think she is in a position of power based on her charitable or her ability to make sure the house is secure. Making sure the house secure and loving that man is two different understandings, because you invest in responding to your house, and that's the right thing to do. But if that man doesn't feel the same love that you put in that house, that man is going to go seek something else from a woman that he's not getting at home. And although he may love you genuinely, one of the strongest spirits on the planet is emotion, because emotion, love and hate is the same emotion, just in different directions, depending on what you do. And majority of the time, emotion sustains relationships opposed to logic. Some people that have been affected in their childhood, and this is why in Islam it teaches us about courting to identify what you're dealing with. And it's very important to understand the psychological damage that men go through, and you being the psychological damage that men go through in their life, they bring that child affect. They bring that child. What had affected them as a child, they have brought into their adulthood, and then you start to tamper with certain things that brings out that infection. So it's very important, dear family, to always identify who you dealing with and quit trying to just rush into relationships. Man, everything ain't always about this person make me feel good. I think he the one. She make me feel good. I think she the one. You got to identify conduct, character, what they bring to the table. You got to, what are their goals? What you got to even look at their family, what type of family they come from. So you have to identify so much before you make the right decision. And this is why in Islam it's called courting. When you court someone, it's like taking them to court. That's why it says courting. And you bringing forth evidence saying this is what type of person I am and I can prove it. And so over a protracted period of time, it shows you who you dealing with, because situations and circumstances going to bring out whatever somebody is hiding. So don't be so quick to rush and get involved in relationships, because in the word relationships, you have the word relate. And sometimes the physical attraction and the emotional attraction in the beginning feel good. We back to that feel good. It feel good. And this is why majority of the human family go off what feel good opposed to logic. You go off what tastes good opposed to what's healthy for you. What's healthy for you tastes nasty. So you eat a lot of shit that tastes good to you opposed to the things that taste nasty that's better for you. Nevertheless, look at what makes sense. Take the information that you have and be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Critical of it, so that you may dissect it, understand it, and see not whether or not it's in your best interest. This podcast is titled What the Side Chick Should Know. I'm going somewhere with this, so hold on. Men, understand that when a woman is in a committed relationship and she has a friend on the side, it's actually based on your conduct and character and what you not presented to her to fill her void. See, when we are affected, when a woman is affected by what she's not getting at home, one thing about that woman is she starts to cry out for attention. She starts to cry out for that love I talked about. Men want peace and women want love. Two different attributes. I'll break it down shortly. And so when you're not able to give her the love that her soul desires, there's men such as myself with charisma, with character, with swag, good spirit, great conversation. She may be so caught up in the dissatisfaction at home where what a man may say to her, she may find intriguing. And women like to embrace conversations. And when a woman feel comfortable, she even talk about you to the other man. Hey, I'm telling you of firsthand experience, dear family. So it's up to you to get off the damn video game, get into being productive, get into identifying when your woman is dissatisfied. But understand that there are women that still need help that is affected by their childhood because many women grew up without a father figure. And what their father figure was, I mean, you know, they embraced it, boyfriends looking for the love that their father didn't give them. And so majority of the time, women get involved in relationships looking for that love that their father didn't give them, and the father didn't give them a identity, or pardon me, a clear picture on what a man's supposed to look like. You know what I'm saying? So they always picking men that they fall out with 2 or 3 years later, 5 years later, dissatisfied, and then have a man on the side in a committed relationship. It's very important, dear family, that you treat that woman how you want to be treated. It's very important that we have to start now, as the minister Farrakhan said, living in truth. We have to live in truth. Why? Because when we live in sin meaning the opposite of truth, a lie. When we live in a lie, it affects the immune system. It affects our spirit. It affects the way we look. And the energy is not connecting. And so when we manipulating, deceiving, and lying and misleading the woman, you're actually damaging her soul, because she's a direct attribute of God himself. She's a attribute of God himself. And she wants to love you, but the shit that you bring into the table is difficult to love, brother. You're not in harmony with her. So she looks for a man. She doesn't look for a man, but she opens the door because she has to go get a fresh breath of air. And somebody just happened to walk past the window and smelling good and caught her attention while she's stressing over you. And then what happens is the conversation starts. And she wants somebody to talk to. And she won't avoid to be felt. And then the man, the side dude, is making her feel better than what she felt at home. So she find herself going out and meeting up with this guy. And what's the nature of a man and woman? Naturally, a man lusts after a woman, and a woman lusts after a man by nature. So if the man whom she has decided to engage with start hitting certain buttons, guess what happens next, dear family? Them legs come into the V and open wide. And I'm going to tell you something. Women deal more with emotion than logic. And it's going to be very difficult once a man penetrates the woman that you love, because she's going to create some type of natural energy. Energy is so transmittable where she starts to find herself in a situation that feels better, sometimes look better, and sometimes doing better, although she love you. So the question is, can a person love two people at the same time? Absolutely. Absolutely. This podcast is 249, 294. Title, what the side chick should know. But understand what the side chick is. The side chick, when I'm speaking to the woman, I'm also speaking to the man and giving you two, I'm giving you how can I put it? I'm giving you actual facts on both sides of the fence. So a side chick is actually not a side chick. A side man is actually not a side man, although two may be in a committed relationship. Oh, I can't go there right now. I gotta give you a little milk before I give you that one. Let me back it up a little bit. You know, when you have a great player on your team and the player is not, filling up to his potential, that he's been balling for the last 10, 15 years, doing very good, but he's starting to decline. The owner sometimes goes out and look for other players, and players put their resume in. So what happens is when there is a man in a committed relationship and there's a woman on the side of that committed relationship, it's actually a man and a woman putting in resumes, hoping that it is what they have on the side can be better than the committed relationship I'm either trying to get out of or don't know how to get out of. They're looking for a way. Be very careful. Be very careful when thinking is greener on the other side of the road, dear family and sister. Be very, very careful and be very, very wise on decision making. Because when you involve yourself out of your committed relationship, you have, many of you guys don't ask yourself, does this man has AIDS? Is this man a rapist? Is all these things you have to find out that you don't know about. So be very wise and wanting a side piece. Make sure you identify if you choosing to come out of that committed relationship, because it ain't nothing but people putting in their resumes, and if you fit the description of what somebody want, you may be hired, but you have to be very wise, sister. So not only, title of this podcast is what the side chick should know. The side chick should know that if you choose to be in a side piece, if you choose to be on the side of a committed relationship, know your role. What is your role? A role is that which you play to win a Emmy. Play your role. See, sometimes you guys want to be side chicks, knowing that a man is in a committed relationship. Some are truthful, some are not. We just keeping it real. Some tell you what it is, some hide it away from you. And then you get yourself involved in a committed relationship and then you get yourself involved in a side chick relationship and get emotionally attached to a man that you know has a committed relationship, meaning he's already in a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship, and he have told you that or you know that, but yet you still deviate off of your agreement. You deviate off your agreement thinking he should leave the side. I mean, he's a committed girl to be with you. Your intelligence is not even thinking, because look at, if a man is in a committed relationship, yet you on the side, do you think that the commitment is going to be to you now? You will find that answered out on my next part 2 of what the side chick should know. Let's go with the man. Understand, brother, that if you find yourself as the side piece of a woman's committed relationship and you calling her all through the night, trying to get her knocked by a dude calling the phone, nine times out of 10, your name is up on it, a woman's name. Your name may come up Betty. That's Tamika and them. They playing on the phone. Tamika want me to come. I ain't coming out. You know, whoa, that woman's sharp, brother. That woman is sharp. Believe me, your name is up under another woman's name. Boy, I seen it with my own eyes several times in my life, dear family. But if you understand the nature of this woman being in a committed relationship, don't you involve yourself in a way to get her knocked. I mean, you being irresponsible to the agreement you have in place, brother. And although this woman is a committed relationship and you may care about her or may like her, right? Do you think that she's going to get out of the committed relationship and be committed to you? Let me explain something to y'all, dear family. And this is very true. Anytime you have a side chick, anytime a man has a side chick or a woman has a side dude, they haven't yet grown into the wisdom and the understanding of God. You still playing games by manipulating and deceiving one another. Hey, I've been there. Boy, I had all the women that I wanted. You see all my children I got. I grew into this understanding. I grew into this wisdom. And I ain't, I'm an open book. I don't give a damn what you think about me. I make it happen like the captain. But nevertheless, when you grow into a mature man or a mature woman, games are irrelevant, not necessary. Truth is the foundation of peace. So when you having a side chick or you having a side man and everybody hiding and manipulating each other, there's two fronts there. Sometimes there may be some dissatisfaction in relationships, committed relationships that a woman trying to get out of or a man trying to get out of but don't know how to get out of. Then there's a situation where everybody want their cake and ice cream all at the same time. Then there's another part that says that in some situations multiple women, polygamy is real. But I'm saying all that to say this, and I'll close. When you are in a committed relationship, whether it be man or woman, and you have a side chick or a side man, majority of time it's not going to work. And somebody going to get caught up because the truth has not been addressed. Either the man lying about he ain't got no woman, or the woman lying about she getting away from this man, yet she's still sleeping with that man, and yet the man still has a woman. If you just speak the truth, dear family, on what your condition and what your situation is, a greater understanding brings success. Not trying to teach you how to have a side chick or a side man, but it won't be, you will know to keep your emotion at a halt. It's boundaries and everything in life. And if you don't keep the emotion stable, you will spiral out of control, and that will affect everything. So understand, if you are in a committed relationship, let the side chick know what it really is. If you are in a committed relationship, woman, let the side man know what it really is. Let him know there's just some dissatisfaction going on in a relationship. I don't know. We could be friends, and this, that, and the third. Don't get to manipulating that line like you ain't still dealing with your committed relationship, and then things spiral out of control. Then you get knocked. So understand, if you speak truth, if you speak truth, the relationship. No, I ain't gonna say that. I gotta say some of this for part two, man. I got to say some of this for part two. I'm gonna leave a comment on rather my opinion, but some sisters may not appreciate, understand that there is. Okay. Um. Um. This is one side of the coin that I'm talking about. There's many, multiple sides to understanding what a side chick is and what a side man is. Man isn't a real man if he is okay sharing the same small space as another. I mean, that's like two people trying to drive one car going down the hill. Well, that's a great statement, but nevertheless, different cars have different motors, and some cars could take you further than others. And some cars can withhold so much adversity than others. And when you in this journey called life, sometimes women or men that you meet take you up to a certain period of time in your life, and then you meet another man, whether he be on the side or she be on the side, that could take you further, that could introduce you to certain things that that man in your committed relationship don't even have the qualifications to do so. And so all through this life, we grabbing information and we trying to, and we driving in this journey that's called life. So sometimes we may have to get out the car to get in another car to get across the street, because we in some relationships, women are too emotional, too weak, too this, too much of anything is no good. And sometimes you have a man that's no good, raggedy, and can't produce, ain't doing nothing but driving your car, eating your food, and having sex with you and trying to control your money. And sometimes you need a man to teach you how to make your money, make money, teach you about certain things that get you across the street. So, I beg to differ on that avenue. Why lower your standards to be a side piece? That's a beautiful conversation. We get the my conversation in this part one was explaining to you what a side chick is. Why lower yourself? You never lower your standards to be a side anything. There are morals, values, principles, and integrity. And if a woman is hitting on all cylinders, she's going to value herself. She's going to value herself. But sometimes you have women that want to get out of bad relationships and just don't know how to get out of one. Okay. In Islam, is a second wife revealed to the first. Islam is a second wife revealed to the first. Absolutely. Absolutely, because in Islam, see that I had put a question on my page. What is the religion of Moses, Joshua, Aaron, Peter, Paul, and all these prophets and messengers that Scripture and Holy Quran teaches about? What is the religion of it? And what that entails is that it gives you information to understand the actual nature of God Himself. Did Jesus have concubines, meaning other women? Absolutely. Was He wrong? Probably in your eyes, but not in God's eyes. So it's very important to live in truth. And when a man takes on a wife in Islam, standing on the spirit of God, the nature of God in truth, and understanding always wins based on whatever the wife agrees to. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, but one wife is good for you. Just one. Just one. Because dealing with multiple women, as the minister just said, it's a headache. It's a headache. But yes, to answer your question, the second wife is revealed to the first wife because the wife has to agree. And if the wife disagree, it depends on the circumstances, because God is going to bless the man if he's a messenger of God and a servant of God and doing God's work. God has always throughout history blessed his servants and his prophets and his messengers with women that helped him with his work to do God's work. Any more questions? This is only part one. It's gonna get a little deeper. Don't worry about it. You don't want, because the P brain get to clicking. I take experiences and things that I've seen and I try to apply them. But who said a side chick is bad? We defined it as a side chick, and in reality, is our girlfriend. Reality, we have some type of love and respect for this woman that we have engaged with, and it is actually not a side chick or a side man. Pardon me, a side man. It's somebody that we have committed and we liked it and we respect. So at the end of the day, what's a side chick in reality is just a relationship, a polygamy relationship, but ain't nobody talking about it. I'm totally okay with a wife or two and a home, as long as every is committed. I'm actually all for this because there's so much greatness and progress. Hey, that's powerful. You know what I'm saying? Once you understand the nature of self and the nature of God, some women just don't do good with other women around. It's a lot of jealousy and envy. But some women understand the nature of building and helping. And this is why the Holy Quran called the woman a help meet. She is the second coming of God to help the man meet the obligation to God if we're on the right path. So the second wife in reality is a side piece to correct? No. When you have a committed relationship, commit is an obligation. I'm obligated to make sure I provide, protect, and maintain you. When a man takes on another wife, he is in a committed relationship. I am to provide, protect, and maintain you. There are there are things that the husband is required to do, but he's also required to stand on truth. So the first wife, he has a conversation with and feel it, and if she's in agreement with it, see, but you have to be re-educated and retaught a different. You just have to be re-educated
everybody in America, because we've been in America for 462 years under Satan's rule. And our way of thinking and our way of doing all things has been a ritual religion from someone else, not of our own. And this is why we feel, some people feel like God is wrong. You know what I'm saying? But he say, I know what you know not. We just haven't grew into the wisdom to understand this life that we live. But nevertheless, it's always in a mutual agreement if a man takes on another wife. So is it okay for the wife to take on another husband? There's your way. There's 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 right and wrong or creations. I'll get on that another topic. But the nature of a woman is the second coming of God himself. And man holds the seed of life, and the woman brings forth life. When we talk about morals, values, and principles, the nature of man, the nature of woman is called the help meet. Help the man meet his obligation while the man does the work of God. This is, you know, Islamic teachings. It's inappropriate, and it's nasty for a woman to have multiple men. It's not ladylike. It's the nature of you would tell you that. You know what I'm saying? God didn't make you like that. He made the man to have multiple wives according to scripture, not what I think or assume, but according to scripture. You know, he allows Solomon to have over 900 wives. They have many different wives in other countries. Only America has this way of thinking. Nevertheless, sis, I think that the nature of man is God's given a reward in having multiple women. But the nature of woman is just not by nature to have more than one man, for a woman to have more than one husband. Hope that made sense. One big orgy sound like to me. When you think about it on a sex level, then you thinking, I'm gonna say this. There's a nigga behavior and a God behavior. Nigga behavior always think lower, lusting after the lower desires. This is what Adam failed when he was told not to eat from the apple. Don't eat the apple. And so he decided to disregard what God told him, and he started lusting after his lower desires. And this is why God said, when you eat from that apple, surely will you die. Well, we know he didn't die physically. He died mentally, morally, spiritually, in every which way. So he hid in the garden. So when you talk about it sound like one big orgy, having multiple wives is not about sex. Having multiple wives, once again, is dealing and building the new world. That's why it says out with the old and in with the new. So we living in Satan's world, so we don't even know what the hereafter look like. We don't even know what heaven look like. But to have heaven on earth, Jesus said, as it is in the heavens, so shall it be on the earth. When you have multiple wives, the wives is doing actually the work of God himself. It's not about sex. It's actually about building. And ain't nothing gonna get done without a woman. Ain't nothing on this planet gonna get done without the woman. The Holy Quran says the woman is but 1 degree under man, and that 1 degree is only physical strength. She think sharp as a man. She in every aspect of a man, but strength. So understand, it ain't about orgies. It's about building. It's about building the kingdom of God on earth. And that's just the truth about it. The sexual desires is small. That's small talk. You know what I'm saying? That we can't get into the emotional part of that. Okay, polygamy is about building something bigger than connecting something that's from God. Okay, Miss Didi, I'm not Muslim, so I'll be trying to understand. It seems like a lot of women just be wanting to be have what time when they see a handsome brother, they be ready for whatever. I'm just trying to understand. Hey, this is a great topic because it brings out, you know, people's opinion. And if anybody want to come on a live right now, and we could talk about it. Anybody want to come on a live? Let me know, and I'll bring you on, and we can make this conversation a little bit more deeper because we all have our different perspectives. But that's what make it great because we can learn from one another. Do anybody want to come on the camera? Do anybody want to come on the camera? This is only part one to what the side chick should know. It's only part one. Don't get your panties in a bunch because a whole lot hasn't been said. But you know, everything in life is a process, so it leads up to something. It's so much more wisdom that I'm going to give. And don't be a face surfacing person. Always dig for the root of things. So this is part one. Just part one. Hey, I've been a mother for 25 years of my life, and it's the most fulfilling relationship if it's done correct. Oh, if it's done correctly, oh, that's powerful. And that's yeah, if it's done correctly, oh yeah. Answer, and do anybody want to come on camera? I'm gonna bring Miss Scott. Let me see if Miss Scott can come on. She don't want to come on. Hey, turn y'all cameras on because I could bring y'all on camera, and I could bring us all in to be instead of writing. We could be. Let me see. Everybody got their camera turned off. Oh, Jeanette. Everybody got their cameras turned off. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Hey, we gonna bring you on camera so we can have a conversation. I'm not coming on camera. Hey, let's bring everybody on camera, man. You know, let's see. Oh my God. Anybody want to come on camera and discuss this? We're discussing what the side chick should know. What the side chick should know, dear family. What the side chick should know. This is part one. Come on, okay. Anybody have any questions? If you have any questions, feel free. Uh, let me see. So, do you have any other sister wives? Uh, so do I have any other sister wives? You asking me, do I have any sister wives? I don't have no sister wives. I don't have no sister wives. Mm-mm. I know beautiful people and beautiful spirits, though. You know, hey, so sometimes when you engage in conversation with women, sometimes they like what they see, they like what they hear, and they like the way it feel good. I mean, they like what they feel, and so majority times in my experience in engaging, um, Instead of, you always meet somebody in your life that could bring something to your life. Majority of the time, women want to turn God, their gift that God blessed them with, whether it be a man coming in your life, woman, or somebody coming in your life, they want to create a relationship. Don't you know in relationships, there are stipulations in relationships. You stop being yourself when you trying to be in a committed relationship. When you just build as friends, as associates, as friends, then we talked about this, and then friends with benefits. You gain so much understanding about the person, and you grow and you learn and you learn. Opposed to in the beginning of meeting somebody, you shut everything down because then you start acting a certain way. You don't act out who you genuinely are. You can't be your true self. So no importance of you know meeting. It's great to meet people and it's great to engage with people, but quit trying to a relationship. It's too early. Take your time, man. I noticed that a lot of people do that. You know what I'm saying? Take your time. We've been rushing all our lives in so many relationships that never worked the hell out. I want to just tell y'all, seriously, take your time. Take your time. Um, oh, okay. Dee Dee, answer the question. That question was for Dee Dee. Okay. Answer the question. She got a question for you. This podcast is titled What the Side Chick Should Know. What the side chick should know. And sometimes truth affects the spirit, but don't let it affect the spirit. If see, anytime truth affects the spirit is because you living a lie and you don't want it to affect what direction you want to go in because you want to hold on to a lie. Hey Didi, you need to answer that question. It was for you. Do anybody want to come on camera? Do anybody want to come on camera? Turn y'all cameras on and quit being so scary, man. Let's have a conversation. We got 15 more minutes. Do y'all live under one roof, Miss Didi? Okay. Do anybody want to come on camera? I'm finna try to bring y'all on camera. Oh, here goes somebody. We're gonna bring somebody on. Miss Taylor. I'm bringing somebody on. Don't be scared to get on the phone with me. Y'all, man, go put your. If you ain't got your eyebrows drawn on, or if your eyelashes falling off, or if the wig ain't on, I don't know. I ain't tripping on none of that. Come on and get online and let's have this great conversation, man. You know what I'm saying? If you need to go draw your eyebrows on or put your eyelashes on, go hurry up. I'm gonna give y'all 5. We got 15 minutes. Get your glue. I ain't tripping. It's all about a spirit, man. It's all about the great spirit, man. So so my answer is sister must understand her relationship with the most high in order to understand. Ooh. 7-Eleven. So she's able to understand that her husband is not her possession. That's my. Oh shit! She come over. Oh, good lord! Good lord! Good. Ooh, that was pop. That was powerful, Didi. You okay? Okay. On my nerve. Hey, okay. Okay. He said no. It was not under the same roof. Ooh shit! Like, listen. Who want to come on camera? If you ain't got your eyelashes in, put your glasses on. Who want to come on camera, man? Come on now. I need somebody to come on camera with me. If your hair ain't did, do like me and put on a hat. Put on a hat. Mm, Put on a hat. Look, let's get deep. Hey, this is a great topic and a great conversation because we want to know the nature of relationships so we make an understanding because our little small interpretation of what a relationship is minute to what the understanding God has for us. Oh, somebody want to come on camera. Hold on. Who want to come on? Oh, approved. Okay. Can't bring the person you invited needs to download the latest version on Face. Oh, I tried to download you. It's saying that you need to download your husband is yours once you take that vow good to love and protect. Is this your opinion? Is this your opinion? Because God got a different opinion. See, that's the beauty about these conversations because um, when you take vows, they are truly committed relationships. I mean, committed uh, um, between two people. And marriage is the highest degree, the highest level in the eyes of God, according to scripture and Holy Quran. But it also states the work of the man and what he can acquire. That's strong understanding. Understand what I mean when I say your husband is not your possession. We only belong to Allah. Ooh. Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna try you again. Let me try you again. It, I'm trying to bring you on, but it's saying the person you invited needs to download the latest version of Facebook app to join this live video room. So I think you may be on a metro. We got to we got to stay quick thinking. We got to stay on time in time. Your husband is yours once he takes the vow in the size. It's so much more to that. Yeah, he is yours. He is yours in terms of providing, protecting, and maintaining you. hey, hey, I love these. Hey, I love these conversations, man. Who want to come on camera with me? Explain yours. Who you talking about? You know, that's where. Hey, who you asking to explain, D? And what you need to. I was just washing off my face. I joined. I joined. Okay. Not a mention. Oh, okay. All right, yes, we got a sister that's gonna join Miss Scott, man. We gonna get her on. She definitely got some things she wanna address, and this is a beautiful conversation. The topic of this podcast is what the side chick should know, and is actually turning into can a man have more than one woman? You know, and why can't a woman have more than one man? How can I look at a mess? How can I look at a mess? I don't understand. Okay, what the hey Didi, you got to put the name so the person can understand know who you trying to address. Because this is getting real deep. This is getting real deep. Let me tell you something, right? This is the God honest truth, man. And I got to be honest, because this is a great conversation. Um uh I have multiple children's mothers. And as a young dude, I didn't know how to treat women in terms of treating them the way I want to be treated. And I had such beautiful children. She's talking to me because I said the husband is yours. Okay. Oh yeah, you got to go and won't y'all come on camera so we could hear y'all, man. Won't y'all feed into this four-way camera? Let's talk. Y'all can talk in the dark and be anonymous. Let's, I look a mess, but I want to have this conversation because this is real. Well, come on, I'm finna try to bring you back on. It's saying that you have to load. It's saying that the person You invited needs to download the latest version of Facebook app. You ain't. I'm trying to join you, Miss Scott, but it's telling me that you have to download the latest version of Facebook app. So whatever app you have is an old. You ain't downloaded it. Let me see, cause I'm trying. Let's see if we can bring somebody else on. Oh, we want to bring. Let's bring everybody up, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring everybody up, man. If you this podcast is titled "What the Side Chick Should Know." If anybody want to come on and ask questions, feel free. Just turn off your light before going live. Just turn off your light before going live. Explain that. Just turn off your light before going live. What can I do? What happens if I do that? Because I'm trying to bring everybody on this podcast. It's titled "What the Side Chick Should Know," and everybody got a lot to say. It's a beautiful conversation. How can I get everybody in the room if they don't want to be seen? Oh yeah, there you go. Look, turn off. No answer from the light. Turn off your light and be in the dark, anonymous, man. If you don't want to be seen, you know what I'm saying. If your eyebrow falling off, you know what I'm saying. I'm ready in the dark. I'm ready. I'm ready in the dark. Okay. Um, I'm gonna bring. I'm gonna see if I can bring like 4 people on right now. Hey, D, can you come on and just can I bring you on and all you do is have your spill. I'm gonna see if I can bring you on. Oh, you didn't turn your thing off. I can't bring you on. Hold on. Let me see. Oh, I can add you. Okay, I'm gonna add you. Okay, just turn off your light. I'm gonna add you. Just turn off your light so I can add you. Come on, D. Let me see. They ain't letting me do it. Approved. Can't be here. I'm on natural. I'm on natural. I don't. Okay, well, let me bring you on. If you, yeah, I'm bringing everybody on right now. Didi, they talking about you got a lot to say, but you hiding. You there?
Nope. This is Fonda.
What's going
Don't
on
be
with
sending me no requests. I done already told you. It is almost 11 o'clock at night. People is ready for bed.
we just conversing right now. I'm bringing everybody in because this is a great topic and a great conversation.
So where's everybody at then? All the
Oh,
people
they
who was
come.
chatting,
I
all the
know.
people who was chatting on the subject.
Look, they coming in as we speak. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, here she come. Here she come right
I
now.
wasn't even in the conversation and you gonna tap me in.
Hey, I'm trying to tap everybody. Oh, you came in a little late.
Shoot.
What we was talking about, it jumped off from
I was on the
what?
conversation. I heard the conversation and I seen
Okay,
they was putting stuff in the chat, but no, I was listening. I was doing, I'm multitasking, so I was
yeah.
doing other things, but I was listening.
Oh, that's what's up. That's beautiful. Then nobody want to get on camera and ask the question. This sister trying to get on, but it's saying that she needs to download the version of Facebook app to join this live room. Let me bring on somebody
So if
else.
they got the green, sometime if they click the green button, the green next to the comment.
Y'all, they can hear you. So whatever you saying to me, they can hear
It's
you.
it's a
So
green
tell them what to
button.
do.
Well, it's a green button. You click it, but you tap me in, and then I had to turn my light off first, and then I accept it. Here comes somebody.
Okay, that's one person. Let's bring in D said, bring her back in. That's what I'm trying to bring her in now. It's a
See, I
beautiful
turned all my
conversation.
lights off.
You feel it?
I turned all my lights off.
Hey,
and just about to take me some allergy medicine. I'm all raspy and stuff. Shoot.
It's all good.
So where they at? They was, they was conversating in the
No,
chat.
hey, I swear it be like that. You know, I tell people to come on in and talk to me, but they'd be on the messenger asking a million and one questions. Oh, somebody, it says adding. Okay, somebody coming in. Oh yeah, this gonna get a little interesting right here. I did
Somebody
send you a
sent a
request.
request. Okay.
Okay, let me see. Okay, okay, it says can't bring Didi on camera. Three people can be on the camera. Okay, hold
So it's
on.
only
Somebody,
three people. I'm gonna get
yeah,
off then because they'd had the
no,
conversation. I'm gone. What?
hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me see now. Somebody was trying to call in. Oh, I think I got it right now. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, okay.
There go
Oh,
the family members. What's happening? Hey, so uh, let's see what spiel we got everybody on. Okay, so um, what was we? I guess we left off at. Let's see the last question that was asked. Um, um, it was. I'm on. Oh, that's. I'm on that. I'm ready to go. Hold on. If they don't want to. Oh, here somebody just came with a question. And now the questions that you have, mine's not working. I mean, ask the question now, and then we may, answer it as a in a group setting. So anybody with questions, send it now, or if you have any that's on, on
so
camera.
Miss Didi, I was asking the sister what she meant by your husband, because what do you define as yours?
Or she hear you. Hey, you can either write it in the comments, and she could answer your
Yeah,
question.
because that person is in the that person was in the chats, Miss Didi.
Okay. Okay.
I think that was Ariane. I think her name was Ariane. Arian.
Yeah, she never answered.
Somebody
Oh,
said, "Let me in."
she
She
said,
said,
"Let
"Let
me
me
in."
in."
Hey, hold on, let me see if I can let her in. Okay, I'm finna let her in right now. Oh, it says can't bring her. Oh, more than three people on camera, so I can't bring her in.
I'm gone.
Somebody,
I'm getting off.
oh, why? So need to know. Okay, somebody hang up so we can bring her in because this is a great comp. Oh, she went. We finna bring her in now. Let's go. Okay, beautiful. There it is. Let's get it cracking. So black and so beautiful, man. So black and so beautiful. Great conversation. You know what I'm saying? We learning from one another. You pick a great topic, we could chat. Are you on there? Oh no, she's still coming on. So
Yeah, it's a good topic.
yeah, I like this. I'm at the call. We bring people on more often. Oh, she getting ready to come in. If she answer the phone, I'm calling you. Answer the phone. Can I come in? Oh yeah, you could come in, Miss Scott. But the problem is saying that you have to download the latest version of Facebook. Have you done that? It says a guest decline. Well, you just told me to bring you on now. And she the one. Let's try one more time. If not, we'll. I did down. Oh, she did download it. Okay,
Okay.
do it before people get ready for bed. Okay. The other person ain't coming on. She faking. I'm gonna go back to Miss Scott. Okay. Oh, it might is working now. There she, there she is.
Okay. Hey.
There she is down. Was what questions did anybody have any questions? Or hold on, let me see. Frazier, it won't let me in. I'm trying to bring you in, but you ain't answering the phone. Hold on one second. How you feeling, Miss Scott?
Vibrate. I had this conversation vibrating through the house.
Oh, That's a good one. If any, figure my ass. I'm trying to come in. She's trying to get in. Hey, I tried to bring you in. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's try it one more time. Oh,
Okay.
now it's telling me that no more than 3 people can be on this camera with me. So damn, if nobody know her, could probably bring her in. Nevertheless, this podcast is titled "What the Side Chick Should Know," but it got into um, men having multiple wives and understanding the nature of relationships. And this is great topics from So Black and So Beautiful. Anybody want to start off the conversation? Hello.
I'm learning. I'm
Well,
listening and learning.
well, I'm almost 50
Miss
years
Didi
old,
had all the
so
answers.
I feel at this point, another woman in the household, maybe even two.
It's a beautiful thing if it's done right. And a big part of it is definitely the sisters being in sisterhood. But like the brother saying, it will take a woman to get out of the place that most women are in today, because our strength and our weakness is our emotions. And so when we lose that, which most of us are lost in that, and we're operating from emotions, and we're not able to really see the world around us clearly, logically, you know what I'm saying, from a spiritual standpoint. And so because of that, you're not able to not only look at relationships in the way the brother is speaking of. This is not just a relationship for the men's sake, but when we look at things from a spiritual standpoint, it's so many blessings in it for the woman, because women, for one, we outnumber men. So if you waiting to just have just one husband, ain't gonna happen in this world.
Yeah.
Ain't
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Ooh, damn, hey, you sound like Oprah Part 2.
But you know what though? There's so much that can happen in a household.
Yeah.
There's so much goodness that can happen in a household with two or three women.
The only time
Okay,
that
I
women,
have a
go ahead, sis.
Miss Didi. So it because like I said, I'm not Muslim. So is you when you say that, like if you waiting on a husband, like when you say it's not gonna happen, do you mean that in the sense because they all spoken for?
Somewhat and somewhat, but my main thing is that it's so much bigger than that. The
It
spiritual
is.
the spiritual aspect of it is so much bigger than that, because if you're looking at it only from the angle of, okay, is all the men taken in the world, or whatever like that, that's more of a 3D mindset. That's like you in the flesh, you thinking about the body. And
Yeah.
so because you're thinking about the body, you're thinking about sex, looks, all the stuff
Mhm.
on the surface. You got to go beyond that and see what God really has for you. See, that's why we can't get
Well,
to the, go ahead.
I am like I'm spiritual. I'm just
Mhm.
not Muslim. I'm Pentecostal, and
I'm
I
a
do want a
Christian,
spiritual man. Who? Who, ma'am?
She
and
said
I'm a
Christian.
Christian, and I believe that a man should be able to have two or three wives.
Okay, then that's fine. That's what you like. I'm
No,
speaking
it's
for
not. It's
self.
not necessarily what I like. It's just that it makes more sense.
To you.
You're right. Right.
Okay.
Well, explain
Okay.
why it don't make any sense, so she can answer that question. Explain why you think it don't make sense.
I'm not saying it doesn't make sense. I'm not, because I do see it as from both angles. After so many times of watching the podcast and learning
Uh-huh.
on what you're speaking about, I am open-minded, but just being my upbringing, I don't see it for self. And being the type of woman that I am and all that I've been through, I don't see it for self to be able. And I'm not going to say I haven't been put in that position, because I have been put in that position. But I know the position is not for me. I just don't see me being able to play it out and sit well, because it's just, I'm not gonna say it's wrong, because I do see the avenues of you benefiting from it. That part I get. I understand that. But I don't feel that it's right. I don't know. It's just like, I don't feel like a man should have multiple. I don't feel like that's how it should go, but I'm open-minded to understanding of how it's looked at. And I see how back in Jesus days and how they had multiple, I do understand all that, but I don't feel like that was the way it was supposed to be seen. I don't know. I just can't explain
Let me
it.
say this.
But I
Are you
understand it,
a
but I don't
mother?
feel like
Are
I
you a
could do
mom?
that. I'm very much so a mother.
Do you have more than one child?
I sure do. I have 3.
Okay, well then you sometimes know that right. So sometimes we can get overwhelmed with just running a whole household by ourselves and different things like that. And if you got a good, strong brother or a good man, then it goes beyond like being jealous or anything like that. It's just so much growth and so much that multiple people can have.
I understand that.
Hey, this sister want to come on back. She talking about that's BS. Want to go?
Is that Arian? Is that Ariana?
Yeah. We got to get her on in this shortly. Well, let me say.
But we got to look at that. A lot of times it be our ego that be in the way of us seeing the truth of just in general in life, period.
Yeah.
I'm just deferring. You know what, Miss Didi? I need it's. I don't feel like, because I'm a very spiritual woman. I'm very grounded. But I come from a family of women. My grandmother had 13 kids. It's 56 grandkids.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we predominantly is women, and it's just like I don't come from that, and I feel like, you know what I'm saying? If he loved me, this is what I feel. When I was put in that situation, I had to let it just be known. Like, I feel like I'm every bit a woman that could perform everything that you need. You don't need all them women. And that's how I'm going to explain it. That's how I'm going to put it out there. I don't feel my man need all them women, because just what that woman could give you, I could give you, and better. I'm a firm believer of what I have to offer and what I bring to the table and what I stand for. And my morals just ain't grouped like that. I'm not doing no multiple relationship.
Well,
I don't see myself.
You got to look at it from a few other angles, though, sis. First of all, I grew up with mostly women too, so I get the whole understanding that, as women, they feel like, you see your mothers have their men and so forth, throughout being around women, you see that, and you want this relationship to be what you grew up with, what you saw, grandmother, grandfather, all of that stuff. But this is different. This is different because, for instance, I look at myself like I bring a lot to the table, a whole lot. So it's not about being enough. You got to be enough for yourself going into the situation. So basically, when you're healed and you're whole, and you're going into a situation with a brother, you're not looking to him to fulfill you. And so you're not looking for love, because love's coming from within you. So it's like you're going in and you guys are basically complementing each other. So when you look at it from that angle, you're not losing, because this brother is only complimenting something, that you already got your stuff together. You already who you are. You're whole and he's whole. But what you're speaking of are people who are still struggling with the reality of trying to get to that place that I'm speaking of. You're right. You cannot have this type of relationship if either one of the people are not truly where they need to be in their lives. If you're not already loving yourself first, it's not going to work. because you looking for love. You looking for the brother to fulfill things in you, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
And so
Correct.
when you're not doing that, then it becomes a whole different connection. It's a whole different connection.
Damn, that's so powerful, right? Damn, Miss Dee Dee, you covered powerful. But nevertheless, when one is affected by past and do not have a greater understanding from the past, they would see what it is we have to grow into what God intended for us to be. And somebody keeps saying BS, BS, BS. And so I'm trying to bring you on.
You could bring her on. You could bring her on because that young lady dropped off. Miss Mia dropped down. You could bring her on.
I approved her, but look what I'm gonna tell you what it's gonna say. It says send the invite, but she's declining. It say I'm gonna send you what it's saying. It's gonna say you declined it. You got to come on the camera and speak your piece, sis.
Because I'm also confused. Okay. And I mean, I know y'all not saying, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
But I'm also confused because.
Oh, go ahead.
What?
No, somebody.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I just would like to be enlightened because even though I'm not thinking like all sexual or nothing, but I am, that is another thought because at the same time, like, okay, yeah, you benefiting from this, but there has to be some sex involved. And I'm like, so you mean to tell me that it's okay for, as you would say, because I'm thinking y'all say brother as in a Muslim term, correct?
Yes.
But the brother is your man, right? Your husband or whatever?
Yes.
You mean to tell me it's okay for that brother, you supposed to be okay with sharing sex? Like,
you got to understand, some people are not marrying for that though, sis. I've seen connections with, and I've known many Muslims, and I've seen connections where maybe one sister have an illness where, she's, don't want sex. Maybe she's older and she's not into the sexual part of it, and he didn't marry her for that. And that may be the purposes of why he married that second wife. And she agreed to that because she wanted to see her husband be happy, but still love him at the same time. People marry for different reasons, to fulfill their connection, to make it stronger,
See, that's deep. That's really deep because marriage, when you take them vows, ain't it for better, for worse, for richer, for poor, till death do us part? Like, it's so what if she can't, then okay, we just gonna have to be out of that era. We gonna have to find something else, like bring the toys in, bring some type of other, to interact like that. Like, so does that make it right for him? So you mean to tell me that man, it's okay for that man to seek out sex with another and bring in another wife because of that? That's not love.
See, it's not about him seeking.
That's lust.
But see, it's not about him seeking. Like I said, the sister may have come to him and said, this is what she wants because it helps. Think about it for a minute. Okay, if you could not fulfill your husband in any type of way, okay, you may feel to yourself that may make you feel bad about yourself. You may feel like, I'm not a good wife. And so that sister may go to that brother and say, I want you to have another wife. And if that's her choice, because it not only helps him, but it also helps her to be complete in the situation. You get what I'm saying? Some people have a deeper understanding of what their connection is. And it's not about sex. It's about looking at things from a more cohesive way, and not just, it's just a lot of people are putting things on such a small scale. Sex is the smallest thing in the relationship that you bring to the relationship. It's the smallest
sex
part.
Also is a feeling. It's a feeling.
But it's a feeling.
And overall, they gonna start feeling something with one another.
And that's
so.
Okay.
Then he's drawn away from The first wife.
And that's why I said if it's done correctly, says you got to look at the brother you getting with, and you got to look at the women involved. And if it's the right brother, he's going to be committed. That's why the brother talking about commitment. It's a whole different level.
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yes, we can.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Right. I'm kind of speaking from experience on one side because I've been married for like 37 years now.
Beautiful.
All right, with 6 children and 21 grandchildren. And so
Amen.
I'm speaking on the terms of the fidelity part. Women, we have a lot of aspects to us. And so men think that we can't fulfill all their aspects, but the main truality is they're not able to fulfill all of ours. And so when you're trying to seek outside, you better, in terms of me being married for 35 years, you better start seeking inside yourself, because no one is able to fulfill all things in one person, in you, except for God.
Correct.
So if you're going to continue, keep looking, because see, even though I'm not there, I've watched it all the time with sister wives and the husbands, and how they try to divide themselves. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because we're almost never full.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so I hear one aspect of one of the women saying that, oh, if you have another woman there with you, she can help you with the work. You can lean on her, when you don't want to do this, and when you don't want to do that, you let her do this or do that. Well, he might be doing that anyway without you even knowing it. Okay, because you never know what anyone is doing. And so, yes, I'm speaking of myself as far as being fidelity, but still, you still don't know what a man is doing. And so if he wants to have coleslaw on the side, he gonna have his coleslaw on the side, no matter what you think about it. He gonna have coleslaw, macaroni and cheese. He gonna have corn on the cob. He gonna have it in every different aspect, and you still think he's yours, and you still won't know.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so you could join in, and you can say, okay, well, everybody come on in and let's have a good time. Somebody's gonna get left out. Emotionally and physically, someone's going to get left out, and they're not going to be fulfilled. So it's best not to even play that game, because that's what it is. It's a game. Because men, honestly, you guys have been parted out in so many different ways that you believe that that's where you should be.
Amen.
But
Amen. I agree.
that's not where God intended. He didn't intend for you to divide yourselves amongst households. He didn't intend for you to divide yourself amongst children. That's not what he intended for man. But because you guys were taken off and divided off, then you were groomed into that, and you believe that that's how it should be. But no, you were taken from one household, you were taken from one woman, you were taken from one foundation, and you were split off. And men have never came back to us. And so now that's why you say, okay, well, women can, they think they're every woman. I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in the pan. Well, we'd had to. Because our men got taken away, and that's why we got put into the workforce. You see what I'm saying? And so it's a never-ending conversation. It really is, because you're never going to get all women to agree on it. Because Muslim men, honestly, I'm a Christian woman. Muslim men walk before women. They
Not
don't walk.
all of them. Not all of them.
They walk before women. They do not walk alongside women. They do not walk alongside women. They walk before women. And
let me say this, sis. We don't want, I'm going to do a podcast on that. I definitely want people to understand Arab culture versus Islam. Our Islam versus Islam. Two different perspectives, two different understandings. And it's definitely something that has to be addressed. Yes, in the East, where Jesus and all the prophets of God are from, the Arabs have a tradition where their women do walk behind them. According to the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the woman is the second coming of God, and she ain't walking behind us, and no manner she with us every step of the way.
True.
And so there's a different ideology that we have to address when the time comes. But this conversation is so great. Understanding the nature of man, the nature of God, and the nature of woman. I think as the teachers teach, we as far away from not knowledge as the sun is from the earth, and that's 93 million square miles.
So do you believe that one woman can do it for you?
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, but one woman is good for you. Only one. He never taught us to get multiple wives, unless we are given a task and a mission by God Himself. See, because when we study God's understanding and our understanding, it's two different understandings. What we think was wrong in America may be right in a different country.
True.
Did you know that Russia had never enslaved black people, but every other country on our path? So
true, but where are you at though?
Exactly, because she didn't ask you what is about that. She asked you, was one woman good enough with you, not what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said.
Because see, even God teaches us, right? Even God teaches us that one man and one wife. He teaches us all of that, but doesn't mean we all follow exactly what He says, exactly what the Scripture says, and exactly what the words say. We always want to, defer from it and do, because yes, we can quote what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, and we can quote what God teaches and what Jesus teaches, but what are you doing?
One thing for sure, one woman, one wife,
okay,
wife.
so then the topic so then let's go back to the topic. The topic was,
let me finish.
What does the side chick need to know?
Okay, we gonna get to that, but I don't want to bridge off. I'm gonna get there.
Okay.
Only but one wife is good for you. One wife is good for you. When you're dealing with these conversations, there are going to be different perspectives about them. So when I come up with a topic, there's going to be different parts and different series that I do to these topics.
Okay.
The topic is what a side chick should know. You stated. Understanding the nature of relationships. I really don't want to get inside the depths of it because I want to leave it for the next series to get to get people drawn in. But what I did speak on is what commitment is and what's outside of commitment, and why do a side chick even appear on the side of a committed relationship? Why does a side man appear on the side of a committed relationship that he has with a woman? And so I'm giving that understanding first, which is the foundation of where it comes from, the root of it.
Okay. I'm sorry, I missed that part. I missed it. All right.
The root comes from dissatisfaction, either within a committed relationship, and we as humans always want to fill the void of what's missing. And sometimes it comes from a woman or a man that's mentally unstable in terms of too emotional, lacking the understanding of how to go about things or bring about a change in their relationships. So we started with the side chick should know. I'm putting the foundation in place on how does she even appear on the side? How does he appear on the side? Then we grow it. So that's where I'm at with that.
All right. How long is this series?
Oh, we gonna do it till we stop. We gonna do it till we stop. This is the first part of it, and it's a great conversation.
Yes, it is. It is. I mean, like, how many days a week? Like, when are you on here so I can
Oh,
get back on?
well, I may come back on every other day. Every
Okay.
other day. But this is such a great topic, and I never had, this response. So obviously, what was coming out of my head, out of my mouth, is attracting the people. So we need to converse and get to a greater understanding in our own. That's
Get to the
Definitely.
bottom of it. Right. Get to the bottom of it.
yeah. Because you know what's wrong for you may be right for me, and what's right for me may be wrong for you. So
And that's why I like to be in on that, because, we all see things and live life differently. And, just like I said, if it's different for me, it doesn't, it might work for you. And then, who for someone else. So
yeah,
that's why I'd like to learn and get that aspect of it. But, you still have, every aspect of it. And that's why I was asking, where are you at? Are you a single man? Are you in a committed relationship, or do we have married women on there? We have single women. Who's on there?
yeah. Let me say this to you, sis. Um, I just lost my train of thought. It was gonna be beautiful. Oh, the different perspectives that we are given, and what might be right for somebody may be wrong for me, and what may be right for me may be wrong for somebody else. It's sort of like people have taken a jab, which was right for them, but it's not right.
I think
And the difference is, in these relationships and marriages and relationships on side commitments and all that, it's really based on the information that you have and the knowledge that you have may
Mm-hmm.
be different from somebody else's perspective.
True.
Because, and that's all it boils down. Some people say this is wrong, this is wrong. They ain't where I am spiritually. They ain't where I am in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation is great. And this is
Mm-hmm.
part one.
so. Excuse me, because it seemed like, excuse me, ma'am, I'm definitely understanding what you're saying, but it seems like Cousin P is like going around in questions. It seems like he keep putting it, but because I'm not understanding, because she keep asking you where you at with it in the where you at with it with the single, the wife, the sister wives. Is that what you was asking, ma'am? Because coming from the host, I think we should see that point of view. It seems like you going all around that, Cousin P.
Cousin Pete don't beat around no bushes. I said, but one wife until you grow. See, when you grow into a different perspective in your life, grow into a different wisdom, and you doing the work of God, which is civilized and the uncivilized. See, I live a spiritual life, and some people live a life. You live in, well, I don't want to get that deep in it, but your life is just different from mine. Your thought process is different from mine. People's understanding is different from mine. One wife is good, and that's the understanding that I have at this time. But rest assured that when the wisdom grows, there might be a different perspective.
Yeah, the comments is saying you on the market, and you should look at the comments so you can start answering these comments. You on the market.
Now, this
I
ain't
mean,
about no relationship, because I don't do relationships at all. No, it's about a conversation that's being had. Is we gonna be serious about it, or we gonna be goofy about it?
we definitely serious.
Okay, so what we talking about is the side chick, the side man, and my perspective about multiple wives. Jesus had concubines. Do we consider them wives? Was he wrong for what he had? Solomon had many wives. So when we read and understand the knowledge of God, and we walk into a wisdom, uh, it enlightens us. So in my growth and what I believe at this time, but one wife is good for you. One wife. But there's reasons why things happen. I do understand that. And that's the perspective that I started this podcast with.
Ariana said we here now, so why wait? Okay, because it's deep. Why wait for the next podcast? Because it's deep. I agree.
Well, the way I put out content is we keep it the subject title, because we still wrangling with it. We still wrangling with it. It's another degree to this knowledge that we talk about. And why I keep giving you, see, you keep, if I keep feeding you, then we over with the topic. It's gonna make you come again and want to talk about some more.
The thing is, for me, is that there's
If you
so
know how to
many.
business, if you know how to host a podcast, you don't put all your content in one, because this topic is beautiful. But it's certain things that we discuss and talk about. We don't give it all at one time. That's the intelligent thing to do. We got a lot of, let's see what they got. Oh, it's getting hot in there for you, Cousin P.
I was gonna say, the thing about it is that when it comes to Islam, it's so much that people don't understand because they don't live that life. And so there's only so much that you could explain before a person has to live it themselves to really truly understand where you're coming from.
But some people are living that life. It has nothing to do with Allah.
Well, that's true, but that's with any religion, quote unquote religion. But see, I don't deal with religion. I deal with belief and understanding faith, true, So for me, it's like, um, I'm not really, I grew up Christian and then I became a Muslim. And so I kind of got both perspectives of it, and I believe in both of them. Um, and so it's not about, I don't look at, I guess, religion how most people do. I should say it that way. But
I think if we also because you also going in the lack of and in the flesh and what you have a desire for and the lack of desire for, and what one person doesn't meet the need, and you spreading yourself all around, doesn't sound much of religion. It sounds more of relationship.
well, my
And
thing
so
is that it when you put it in those terms, we have the flesh and we got the soul. And to me, we are operating from the flesh when we're dealing on a very low vibration, meaning we're talking about sex and we're putting everything on such a low scale of things. A relationship is different from a union. Okay, so a union to me, and this is my opinion, because a relationship to me is all about relations, having sex, being anything of the flesh. I'm attached to the person's physical, all the things that come with the flesh. To me, a union is more something from God. That's something that's much deeper when a person has a deeper connection, something that can't be broken, something that is divine. And so you have to work your way up to that oftentimes, because most of us start with relationships. And I believe that's what the brother was trying to get to when he did the other podcast, um, uh, and talking about, the progress, the progression of from being a side chick or the other woman, and being in these relationships. People are dealing in relationships. Most people have never experienced a union. And so if you haven't experienced a true union, which first starts within yourself, you have to be in union with yourself first to even be able to accept that type of connection. You know what I'm saying? And once you're doing that, it's a whole nother thing going on. You're not with that person based on sex or money. These are things that are of the flesh. These are things that are worldly. You get what I'm saying? So we have
yeah,
to
and
start
that's why it's thinking.
thinking.
talking about relationship, when
Right,
you dealing with the,
right,
as far as same as union, not in a sexual relations, but
right.
in the relationship with that one.
Right.
that requires you to be there and, with full force in that relationship. So, but we're Christian women and you're dealing with, and you might have Muslim men or Muslim women, but if you take someone out who's not even in a belief,
Mm-hmm.
you see what I'm saying? And they're just walking in that way,
Mm-hmm.
then that's where a lot of education, the men and women need to be educated on how they're going to spread themselves or share themselves, and what is the motive and what is the foundation to why you're living that way, because you
Well,
can't just be just spreading yourself everywhere without a
well, you
motive,
can't.
without, you know
You're
what I'm
correct.
saying,
You're
children
correct.
everywhere, children everywhere, baby mamas everywhere, and not a meaning, not a foundation to raising anybody. You see what I'm saying? And so that's why we have a bunch of wayward children right now, because we got a bunch of wayward mothers and fathers. And so whether we're together or not, nobody is raising these babies. And so are we raising these babies with this foundation, with a foundation of not steady, steady, not steady? Because we got other generations that are coming up that are watching these relationships between the men and the women. And so how you want that to play, how you want to play out, because someone's watching us.
But
You see what
then
I'm saying?
again, I understand what you're saying, sis. But then again, we got to think higher than that. We got to think on a different level, because the thing is that, okay, the type of connection I'm speaking of, um, the people involved are on a mature level. They're on a level where they're not doing this for fleshly desires. They're doing this on a spiritual level, because they're if you understanding it from that perspective, then we're not going to have a problem with raising the children, because we're all in it. You know what I'm saying? How they say a village raises children. That's what happens
Mm-hmm.
in these
Mm-hmm.
connections. So we're talking about mature individuals that are, and that's why I said before, it has to be the right man and the right women. Everybody can't have that type of
Mm-hmm.
union. You're correct, because everybody
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be able to appreciate it and where it's coming from, and everybody has not tapped into self enough to be able to
Mm-hmm.
be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically on that level with each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So if for instance, if I married into a connection, and that brother and that sister have children, those children become mine, and I treat them as mine. You get what I'm saying? And vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's, it have to be that mature level of understanding. And so you're not leaving the children behind.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going through the back and forth that most people are going through, because they haven't discussed what's going on. But those
Mm-hmm.
type of things happen in what? Relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships are really the beginning basis of connecting with anyone. You know what I'm saying? A relationship is really nothing. It's really nothing.
Because you can
And
let it
you
go at
have,
any time.
yeah, and
That's
you
what
have people
you're
that
saying.
are
Yeah.
married that are in relationships. They're married, but they're in a relationship. They're not in a union.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So it's a lot to it. It's just a lot that has to be
It sure
looked
is.
at, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So you're grounded from it, Miss Didi. Is that what you're saying? Like the teachings and everything overall that come with that lifestyle or Muslim teachings, it grounds you to be comfortable and be that union. Is that what you're saying?
It's deeper to me than even putting it on Islamic thing. To me, my relationship with God is what I look to first. And knowing that and being comfortable with what I feel like God has put within me, and my beliefs, and how I view the world and relationships. Because like I said, I look at a relationship as that's like dating. And like I said, you got marriages that are literally stuck in the relationship phase, and they might as well not even have gotten married, because they don't respect the vows. They don't respect what true union is. You got to understand what union is. Union is more about what God talk about. When a man and woman come together, you know what I'm saying? And so when that man and that woman comes together, whether it's multiple women and that one man, when they come together, they have to all be on that same understanding that we are a unit. It's us, and we are doing this and we're doing that together. We're building our children and our household, like the brother speaking on. I've seen connections where, for instance, it's not, maybe he's not being intimate with one sister because that might be her choice. She's chosen to be celibate for her life because that's her choice. And she's marrying into this connection because, okay, I could come into the connection, I can have family, I can have a community. You get what I'm saying? People do things for different reasons, and you can't
Mm-hmm.
fault them for that
Mm-hmm.
because that's the life they want. And so it's not always about sex. Like that's like it's not all that's what I'm saying. That goes back to the relation part of it, which is the smallest part of the connection.
I think a lot of times in relationships, um, the thing is, this is my man, this is my girlfriend.
Right.
Relationship is so very different from a union. And I also believe and know that even the level we operate on in our understanding is so small opposed to what God says. And
Mm-hmm.
I hear Sister continue to say Muslim. Muslim and Christian is just different words, because Muslim means submit your will to do the will of God. Christianity means one with God. And
Mm-hmm.
we talk about the nature of either, uh, from a Muslim faith or a Christian faith. We could say, well, if Jesus was a Christian, but he never said he was, but he had this. Prophet Muhammad say he's a Muslim and he followed God, and he had that. Well, they both had wives. I think the level of consciousness and understanding is so far because of what we've been produced and made. And this goes back to slavery.
Mm-hmm.
We still walk in the master's name, and he gave us a whole different curriculum, a whole different understanding. This is why when America go to war, we say we go to war. When you working for at the store, you say get out of my store, when we don't own the damn thing. But the psychological damage that's done to us, we think not outside the box of anything. And it's so now, having one wife is beautiful. Having one wife is beautiful for a man. But when you grow into a spiritual realm, that growth inspires you and enlightens you on a different perspective that's just higher vibration of energy. Some people don't have that understanding, and some people ain't gonna never have it. It's because the mentality is not there. They too damn immature. They don't want to learn a different perspective other than what they've been taught all their life. And that's
Mm-hmm.
what's going on in society today. We have been subjected to a knowledge that's so small. But if we travel the world, we'll see a different perspective of God in every country.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, but because why do the person have to be immature because of their teachings and what they believe in? Does that make it right to say that they're immature?
Immature only means that they haven't grown. In a see, the difference between a poor man and a rich man is wisdom. He knows
Right.
how to iPhone, so he's a billionaire. We don't know, but if we do, it's just the knowledge that differentiate everything. You got to grow into it though. And some people are just immature on levels that haven't grown to produce that. For example, um, I, when I didn't have a house, I wanted to buy a house. I thought the biggest thing was buying a house, but then we still owe the mortgage, we still own the bank, we don't own the land. When I bought the properties, I said I want to buy my own land. Now I own the land. The knowledge that I have is different. Now I know that the land belongs to me and I could charge. This is my,
Correct.
you know what I'm saying? So when you step, you will never see your brother, cousin Pete buy another house. You would never see me buy a new duplex. You would never see none of that. But you would see me buying the land and building the duplex. Now on the duplex and the land. See, it's a
Right.
different. So even in these relationships that we in, that's why I said I did a podcast, Uncomfortable Conversations. Healthy relationships include uncomfortable conversations. And the growth, you start from associates, then you turn into friends, and then it's friends with benefits because of the nature of man and woman, and then you
Right.
turn into a relationship, and that relationship either turns into a marriage, but then we turn into what's the foundation of it all, and then we talking about a union. So it's
Yeah.
always levels to our growth and understanding in every perspective. um you want to treat people how you want to be treated. That's the best religion.
Mm-hmm.
Best religion, and that's the best thing you could do in any of those attributes, from being associates all the way to a union. Treat people how you want to be treated. It's just a lack of understanding and a lack of wisdom that people just don't have. But we all grow at some point in our life. And I just want to say this. Um, it ain't for everybody. And God ain't gonna bless you because everybody gonna be blessed on a different level. So what you don't understand, I may understand. Some people think paying rent all their life and doing A, B, and C, that's good, but not for me. I know something different. So I just want to reiterate that. This is a
I,
beautiful
I got a question. I got a question for the sisters. So my question is,
which one? Who?
just any one of you can answer. My question is, do you believe that we have a soul family on this earth? And if we do are we in the position to tell God who those people are?
I believe he'll show you who they are. You can tell
I
them
don't
who
agree.
you think they are, or you can.
What about you, sis? You say you don't agree.
No, Miss Dee Dee.
So why you
I
don't agree? Why don't we have a
I
soul
just don't-
family here? Meaning you have people on your path that are put in place to help you get to your higher self, to
Teach.
evolve into your higher self. You saying you don't believe that God
okay.
has
Now, when
put
you
some?
say it in that, when
That's
you
a
break it
soul
down, Miss
family.
Dee Dee, and
That's a soul family. We got to get deep with it. See, I'm not a person who believes in small talk. I'm a very deep
okay,
person, so I talk deep I don't do no small talk. Anybody who
okay,
knows
I
me will
could
tell
dig
you
it.
that. So this is what I'm saying. When I say something, that soul family, everybody has one. But what I'm asking is, okay, if you saying you believe that you have a soul family, then let's take for a second and let's look at the polygamy situation. Who are we to say that that soul family is not that connection that we're talking about, where two people are now on a path together with this brother for a reason? We don't know that God didn't put them in that path together for a reason. That's his soul family. We don't know that they weren't put there to help that brother and him help them on their paths, and everybody helping each other on their path to get to the next leg of the race, because God gave us all a soul family here.
And that's so beautiful and said, because I always state that in my podcast is that and that's a ritual. Even in anybody conversation, either a blessing or a lesson is one. But when some people come in your life, they are there for a purpose, to give you something.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to identify uh, what it is about them that you are impressed by. And so that is to give you what you don't have.
Right.
And once again, and I say it in the word relationship, you have to relate. And once you relate in the relationship, there's a connection and a bond that's growing for a reason, because the energy is transmittable. And so when you vibing with somebody, and you, like when I meet individuals, I teach what I know, and they are inspired by what I know, or want to hear more of what I know, it's because it's already in them by nature. And once they grab what I have, they go to the next level because you get a different understanding than your own. That's
Right.
what constructive criticism is all about. Construct is to build. Criticism is to point out that which that somebody else see that could make you better. This is why they got coaches. They coach you up to be the greatest you could be. So when people come into your life, these people are here to make you the greatest that God intended for you to be. And that's what I spiritually see. The spiritual people don't operate on the spiritual level.
Right.
People operate, I'm gonna say, on the nigger level. The nigger level is not seeing beyond their nose, having a lack of understanding of so much stuff because they ain't never been in a different setting. And they say that the company you are what you surround yourself with. And so when you start to surround yourself with great people with spiritual insight, you're going to grow into a spiritual person. I don't give a damn who you are. You definitely will. You're uh what your company is.
And we don't come into contact or into and this is for significant relationships. Significant relationships are not forged based around just for the sake of being in love or having relations. That's not why God intended us to meet people or have these significant. It's always a lesson and a blessing in there. It's always to push you forward to or help you evolve to the next level.
Well, okay, but how he spoke on coaches, and you said soul family, them coaches is coaching one at a time. You ain't got several coaches trying to coach you and build you up. You be having one coach for the basketball team. You be having one coach for these different, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
true.
Well, look, sis, you got to take it deeper than that. Most people, and you probably could attest for this, people you know, they've been through how many relationships before they finally got to that one.
true.
Okay, so people are you're and people go through multiple relationships because they're learning the lesson, oftentimes the same lesson over and over because they couldn't get it the first time. And so you're repeating that lesson. And that's why I say whenever you meet someone, it's not about being we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Oh, we have this thing going on, this situation.
Right.
Most people today are connecting on a very low vibrational relationship. Most people have rarely ever been in a union. And so when you speak of whether or not you're able to see yourself in a situation where it's a multiple situation, you're speaking from the perspective of you've only experienced a relationship. You got to get to the union phase, which is something that starts within you, and then you're gonna see stuff way different. But like we're saying, everything is not for everybody, and God don't give a task to everybody at the same time.
So you believe, Miss Dee Dee, wholeheartedly that that is okay with God.
Yes, depending on how it's done
What's
and
okay?
what
What's okay with
because
God?
she's saying the connection with two, like polygyny, basically, right?
Correct.
Okay, so we got to look at the connection with, like the brother is saying, there are circumstances in the sense that is this brother, have he been chosen to be on a mission with God? That only the people in the situation would know that, because, like you're saying, when you meet a person, you know when somebody is a part of your soul family. You know that because it's a natural connection. It's a whole different vibe. And so when you find those people, you're not gonna say, oh well, no, this is not supposed to be, because when something is from God, you just know it. See, it's a knowing, and that's the difference between believing and having faith, active faith. It's just different, because you could believe in anything. You don't really need nothing to make you believe in something. You know what I'm saying? A belief is really connected to what somebody's uh their circumstances, things they've been through in life, things they've learned in life, what we've seen over time, and we become to believe in that. You know what I'm saying? But having faith in something is having a knowing. It's something in the pit of your stomach, and we all have experienced that at some point in our lives. So we can't deny that there is something that eggs us sometime with different things in our lives. This is what I'm talking about. When you meet people like that, you know that they belong in your life.
Mm.
But not everybody has had that experience.
Right.
Beautiful conversation.
Amen.
It's beautiful conversation
Mm-hmm.
because we only here to learn. We ain't here to bash. We ain't here to say that what I have is better than you, or it was a saying that said, remember, if a person doesn't know, you are not to shame anybody, because it was a time when you didn't know. So we're all growing. We still growing, and doing it in this union that we're doing it in, we're actually giving other people that's listening a different perspective. Some people are mad about what we're saying, but nevertheless, they're listening. And
Right.
it's become not just thinkers, but we have to become critical thinkers. And critical is studying every part of what's said to you to make it common sense. My grandfather used to say, you got sense, but you don't use your common sense. You know what I'm saying? So understanding where we at, this is a process of us all growing into something because we're talking about it. And I definitely respect and enjoy the engagement, especially with the sister, because she had a lot to say. Loyalty and union with one husband is beautiful, man. And people that lack so much shouldn't try to take anything to the next level, because they're gonna kill it for everybody. You just don't have that. But my grandfather was married for 50 years to the same woman. He just departed from us maybe 9 months ago, and that union was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? And and his life was what it was with his wife, and they enjoyed the life together. But um, uh, that ain't everybody's life. It's God blesses everybody, has a purpose on this planet. We just have to grow into our purpose. My mission ain't your mission. The way I think may not be your, what you think, but understanding that if I may know something you don't know, that don't mean I'm wrong.
Right.
What worked for me may not work for you. I don't mean I'm wrong. But the bottom line is to respect everybody's situation. Because who is here to judge anybody but God himself? And this sister
So
want to
then
come.
it sounds. So then, should a person even be married with this lifestyle?
Should a person be married with what lifestyle? You talking about far as, what do you say it again? I'm sorry.
Should one even be married with more than one? Yeah, with more than one mate. With
Um,
You gotta look at the understanding of what marriage means, though. What the word marriage really means. It goes. It's so, that's why I say that it's so much that you can't really speak on in words, because some stuff you have to really go and study for yourself.
well,
There
then you
are
can't play on the word. Then you can't play on the word side chick. Then if you're gonna play with the word marriage, then
well, we won't. I won't say we plan on it, but I'm saying it's a deeper understanding to that word is all I'm saying. When we say marriage in societal terms, people look at marriage as two people getting together and signing a contract. It's so much deeper than that. And so if you take the word marriage,
but what everyone else is talking about, it opens it up though. When you're married, that's a union between two people. But that's not a marriage. That's more a union. That's a relationship amongst more than two people. And so then why be in one committed relationship if you're going to open yourself up to have more than one and more than two and three partners and live in a polygamous relationship? What's the point of committing to one if you're going to commit to another and have another and have another? You might as well just be single and live in the same household or do what you're going to do, but why have the foundation of God under that?
can I ask you
That's why
a
I'm not
question to that?
understanding that.
Can I ask one question to that?
Mm.
Is one, are we really ever truly committed to anyone other than ourselves? The only relationship we truly ever have on this earth is with self. Everything else is created outside of that.
But I thought it was supposed to be committed to God, Miss Dee, not self.
You are.
Before self is
So,
supposed to be committed to
sister,
God.
yourself is the God. Brother, you could break this down. How brother always say what? That we are made in what?
The likeness and image of God himself.
Okay, so if that is the case, sister, meaning that it's all within you. Your universe is within you. It's not outside of you. Everything that you experience on a daily basis starts within you. So if you have, in other words, whatever battles and whatever things you have brewing inside of you is what you see out in front of you. It's a reflection of what you see out in front of you. And so when you take it on that deep level, the relationship with self, meaning your soul self, not your flesh, your soul self, is the only relationship you have on this physical earth. See, we got to understand when we're talking about if you want to bring the Bible and the Quran in it, and we talk about the physical earth, this earth that we see with our eyes, and which our eyes we all know are not as we're not really seeing everything with our eyes. There's animals that see better than us, and we're human, right? So we got to really look at it on a deeper level.
I understand where you're coming from, and even understand the lifestyle, but I wouldn't commit. I wouldn't marry if that's the lifestyle that I would choose. That just me personally, I wouldn't marry, but you would have other outside relationships if you're gonna if that's a lifestyle that you choose. Personally, I wouldn't marry if I'm gonna seek others to be inside the marriage to help fulfill us as a union.
But again, I'm gonna say,
That
That
I'm gonna
makes
wasn't
ask
the
you.
sense.
assignment.
So I'm gonna ask.
That's not my assignment. You know what
I'm
I'm
gonna ask
saying?
the
So that's why I
original
was saying.
question. I'm gonna ask the original question, sis. You say you believe in soul families. So if God presented you with someone, and this is from God, because I don't know if you speak to God. I speak to
Someone
God.
else had that question, not me.
So, well, no, I'm asking the question. I'm saying if you speak to God and you saying you have a personal relationship with God and you speak to God, and which most of us do, um, then you know that when you're speaking to God and you're asking God and you feel when God brings something into your life, if God brought someone into your life and you knew that that was it, you're saying you would turn it away because it's multiple people? You're saying you would turn it away if you felt it in your soul?
I'm in a committed, yes.
Right. Because
Yes.
how is you gonna say you feel that in
Yes.
your soul if you don't feel
Yeah.
that it's right?
Yeah, I would turn it away
How can you
because I'm
say
in a
I don't believe
committed
you don't feel
relationship
that in
with
your
God and
soul?
this one man.
Let me.
So if that was the case, Miss Didi, why are the vows? Why when you take them vows is speaking from one man to one woman.
And one God. Yes.
Yes, not multiples. If that was the case, they instead of the bridesmaids and the bride and grooms, they would have your wife-in-laws, your
Everybody
sister-in-law.
don't do vows, and everybody don't do paperwork. So you got to
Oh,
understand
okay,
that. You got to
okay,
understand that.
okay. I didn't know that.
Well,
I didn't even know you could go under a marriage without those vows.
well,
You
I'm
can't.
learning.
that's the
You
worldly
cannot.
view. That's the world's view.
It's so much.
That's
It's,
the
But
world.
paperwork,
That's the
paperwork
world's
is
view.
not gonna make you committed to your relationship. I don't care how
hey,
many papers you sign. That doesn't commit you to your marriage. Vows are not
Mm.
gonna commit you to your marriage. That's why I said, who are you? Are we really truly ever committed to anyone other than ourselves? And
you
if
know,
you're not, then you're not going to be able to really truly commit to anyone else.
I know they could write your own vows, Miss Fonda. I've been in places where people get married that shouldn't be getting married that write their own vows in my time. So I do know that. I'm talking about the when you take the rightful marriage though, the wedding, the ceremony. That's what I'm
Well,
speaking
who
on.
says that's rightful? Who says that a ceremony is what you have to There's so many culturally, there's so many people out there that never marry that way, but they're married. Heart, soul, and mind. They're married because it's
See,
before
this is
God.
what
It's not about paperwork.
and see, Miss Didi, this is where this is the in all these different opinions and the context of everything. This is what I'm saying. Like, who's to say anybody is right and who's to say anybody is wrong? We have been brought up on different beliefs, different aspects in religion, or just how we was raised. Who's to say anybody is right or wrong? Because I'm reading the comments too, and it seemed like everybody seems to feel like they know what they're talking
and
about, which is fine.
that's beautiful.
Which is fine.
You're
And I'm not
supposed
judging
to.
and I'm not knocking. I'm learning and I'm open minded, but I know what I'm gonna stick with.
Hey,
And that's
And
fine,
that's
sis. That
beautiful
you're
though.
supposed to believe in what you believe in because that's what God put in you on this earth at this time. You're
That's
doing exactly what you're supposed to do.
beautiful. I mean, you said everything right. She just said everything right. Ain't there's not room for judgment. There's only room for understanding. And this is why we engage in these great conversations because it's real deep and it can get deep. And when you hear different point of views, um, the common ground in all of it is treating people how you want to be treated in whatever union or relationship you in to sustain the relationship. And it ain't everybody on the planet ain't rich. Everybody ain't rich. And what I'm saying is that God blesses don't bless everybody the same way. What I offer, uh, what I'm able to offer, you may not be able to offer, but you could offer something else. And so that's just in our understandings. You know, I may have something different that you don't have. I may have, God may have blessed me in a way where he didn't bless you, but he blessed you in a way where he didn't bless me. So this is the realm of God's work. And the more we engage in a conversation, I just think that uh, everything goes according to where we are mentally and spiritually.
Mhm.
Everything we talking about is just where we are. And this is why I don't like when a person say, um, um, it's the saying that says, um, damn, what's that saying? Um, take me as I am. If it take you as you are, and you ain't even produced nothing on the planet. So when you do die off, you still living here in terms of a spiritual Tupac dead. But we all can hear Tupac and millions of people speaking, singing his music. So when people say, this is how I am, you ain't even grown into your wisdom. And if that's what you have to offer, then you ain't worthy of it. You still got to go learn yourself to grow in a much deeper wisdom. If you think take me as I am is the level you want to be at. We ain't even been to, how many of us went to Africa and seen the pyramids? Take you as you are. Have you been to the moon yet? You ain't even explored the planet, and you saying take me as I am. That means you don't want to grow no more.
Right.
So even in our understanding, we have to know that it's levels of how did the sun get there? How did the moon get there? See, that's my spiritual side kicking in, because people lack so much understanding. And it says that one who think they knows everything knows nothing. And so we're all growing. I hear, sister making the comments. Every comment she's making um is she's not really wanting to learn anything. She's actually wanting to laugh at everything, and she's not growing with the community. And that's what happens in relationships too. Sometimes men outgrow women, or women outgrow men and want to get out of the relationship. And then you have a situation on the side. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said, what creates the side chick? What creates the side man? This is the conversation that leads up into the union. But this is so beautiful. We're gonna give it about
I would
5.
love for you to get some more men on there if you may.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Because this is half of our issue in the world,
Yeah,
is more of us come together for conversations, and it's always almost only one of you. And so we get to deal with only your aspect and only your opinion of it. And there's 3 women on screen. And so we're listening to 3 different of us, and we only got one opinion of you. And so we need more men on here so
yes,
that I could also hear another man's perspective that is different than yours,
yes,
because we have opinions that are different than Miss Dee Dee, if that's I don't want to quote anybody's name, but we all have different opinions, and you have one. And so that's not fair. We don't have a forum here where we have all aspects of where we can understand the full table. You see what I'm saying? The table is not complete, brother.
yeah. That's
So,
beautiful. So,
do your best to get get your brothers together and
mhm,
get them on there first, and we can get on there, and then be able to get some growth and some strength for where you guys are and for where we are in this walk,
yes,
because you need encouragement where you are,
yes,
and I need encouragement where I'm at. Okay, because
yeah.
I plan on staying here, you know because till death do we part. That's my assignment, and I understand the assignment. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
And
that's
I agree too that some people are here just for that, sis.
Yeah.
My parents have been married most of my life, so I totally understand it, and I feel like they have a beautiful connection. And some people are meant to be here doing what they're doing, but we also know from the spiritual realm of things that uh, okay, we all have things or purposes that we're here for. We're not all here for the same reasons. Just like we have some people that are here to put mischief in the land. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah, well,
that's the
even God
same.
says that all are not to be married. He
Yeah.
didn't say everybody is supposed to be married. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He
Right.
says some are supposed to stay single so you can focus on him. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And not pull your attention away from him, but stay focused in your mission, in your journey that you have for
Right.
him. And
Right.
so, I know what the word says and how it feeds me, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I'm an open person, you know what I'm saying? And I
Mhm.
love knowledge. I love
Right.
to see how other
Amen.
people live, believe, even what they eat and drink
Amen.
is totally different from me, so that,
Right.
I'm never a closed person.
I
that's
love that.
Amen.
But yes, I am a person that says, take me as I am, but I am a work in progress. I'm not finished yet. So if
there.
you can't accept me as I am right now, you'll never get the best, which is the best to come. So
Hey, that's beautiful.
You know, because God is growing us all. If He allows us to wake up tomorrow, then there's a growth that He has, right? There's a growth that He has us to do tomorrow, which is I'm gonna wake up with another perspective of my sisters and brothers, of the way that they live. And so, you know, that mission for the day has been fulfilled. When I wake up tomorrow, I grow and learn, you know, from
Right.
this day. And
Right.
so we're never supposed to be closed minded, because even the Bible, God's word doesn't change, but his interpretation is different for us all.
Right.
And you know
Right. Amen.
about that, it's so beautiful from a spiritual side, because we all have our own opinions, right? But the question is, what did God say? Hell with our opinion. What does the scripture reveals? And bless those who read and understand scripture, and bless those who read and understand the Holy Quran. Because
Yes.
it's all opinionated, right?
Yes. Yes.
Do scholarly teaching and scholarly conversation. We did,
Yes.
you know, because we could say that, for example, it says that it said Jesus said, "Don't worship me, worship him who sent me, for I come from the Father." But we steady worshiping Jesus, you know. So not to say he's not a worthy man to be honored, but he said that. I didn't say it. So the interpretation that we get, you know, he said, "When you see me, you see the Father." What do that means? We know that Jesus didn't create the sun, the heaven, the moon, and the stars, or none of that. We know that he came from a human being, a mother, and a physical father, according to scripture. But if we don't read and understand, we will all have our own interpretations. So bless
Mm-hmm.
those who read and understand. If you don't read
Mm-hmm.
and understand, you're going to come with your own ideology, your own
That's
understanding,
right.
your experiences. And
Mm-hmm.
some people don't know what it is. And that's why I say a fool and their money shall part, because people will get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money and it'll be gone within a year,
Mm-hmm.
because
Mm-hmm.
the or the understanding they have is on a
Mm-hmm.
lower vibration. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
beautiful conversation. I'm definitely going to get, you know,
Because that right there that you spoke of before, that right there, what you spoke of before, that, and you don't even realize what you skipped over it, but you don't realize that that's a whole lesson right there for our people today.
yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Don't buy not a nail another damn house.
yeah. You're right about that.
You
But
see what I'm saying? Because they taking our houses from us.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
they,
You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? That right there is another podcast. You see what I'm saying? You can extend that conversation. You see what I'm saying? Because it's the ground, it's the land underneath us. You see what I mean? And so if we stay
Right.
closed on what they want and what they have for us, we'll never get what God has for us. And so
Mm.
I'm always there.
Amen.
some people are scared to grow, because they so complacent in what's comfortable. And that's why you have to be uncomfortable to be successful. And sometimes if the if God blessed us with his with the likeness and the image of himself, and he's our father, what was in him is in us. So we able to think outside tradition. We're able to think outside the, you know, the scope of, you know, what everything is. And the only way we do that, and how we do that, is to continue to study, to show self-approval. If
Mm-hmm.
we say,
Mm-hmm.
you got, you know, some people can't even justify why I won't do something. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like, you could tell, I'm telling people, buy land, don't buy no, they haven't experienced what buying a house is yet.
Right.
And so I'm saying, I bought a house. I built the house. I know I built the house in the back of my house, which is another beautiful house, but I don't own none of the damn land, and I'm still paying the mortgage. I went to Atlanta and bought 2 acres of land, all mine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't understand the commerce part of anything, because they didn't give us that wisdom. And this is
Right.
why people always say what I ain't gonna do, this and that and the third. It's just that they don't have the understanding at this time in their life. That's all.
Right. Right.
And I
Mm-hmm.
don't judge nobody. But these conversations are needed, yeah, because we get greater understandings on, you know, our level of understanding and a spirituality understanding. That's the powerful understanding, God, which is God's understanding. That's what's powerful. Because I meet a lot of beautiful people with a lot of beautiful spirits, and I converse with them people, and I learn from them. And that's why I say when you walking in this journey called life, we're going to meet people, and then you determine the value of that person, because usefulness determines your value. God didn't put us on the earth to be useless. He put us on here to be useful. And so when we
Right.
our journey of life, people are gonna give us information and help us along our journey and our way. And so they may have to offer you something. Don't turn a deaf ear or a blind eye to it. It's gonna be great for us. And if it's saying whether you believe it is right or wrong, go study this, go study the book. Go.
Yeah, because one plants and one waters, but it's God who gives the increase. So,
Yes.
you know, this is how he's going to give the increase.
I definitely appreciate this conversation. If we want to get back on here, not tomorrow, but the day after, 9:30, I'm gonna put it back on my Facebook. And if people, I see the people making a lot of comments, we could maybe rotate it and get everybody's opinion. But the sister said we could do a Zoom, and that's a great conversation. I want to know if we could put a Zoom on a Facebook to get the whole audience involved. And
I believe you can,
or you
because
can.
we be doing it on TikTok.
Okay.
My group on TikTok, we be zooming, and then people, we do have some members in Facebook that join the TikTok. That's part of my culinary stuff, so I'm sure you could do it with any subject.
Well, we gonna have to venture off into that so we could bring a lot of more men and a lot of more women and have a civilized conversation. And that's what you say?
May I ask where everybody is from? Do you mind?
I'm from Berkeley, California.
Oh.
I'm from Oakland, ma'am.
I grew up in Berkeley, but I'm actually was born in Pine Bluff, down south.
Yes, born and raised West Oakland.
Oh.
Where you from, man?
I'm in Sacramento.
Oh, that's what's
Okay.
Everybody
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, everybody close. I'm in Sac.
that's beautiful. Hey, so the sister that gave us encouragement on Zooming, maybe I'm gonna hit her online and see how can we bring about today is Tuesday, right? Tuesday. What's today? Monday? What's today?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Thursday. We could come back on same time, 9:30, and I've been to talk to her and see if we could put up a Zoom or how I'm able to get apply that attribute. I mean that Zoom to this Facebook so we can bring on more people and then leave the actual Zoom information. Everybody could, chime in. That'd be nice. So with that said, part one, what the side chick should know.
Yeah, because I can't wait to get to that part.
Yeah.
So I can tell her a few things that I think she should know.
Hey, the cold part about it, ma'am, is it's gonna be so much more deeper
That's
than
right.
she thinking she a side chick, and it's really it's not. It's just I'm just giving it a title because that's draw in your audience and your numbers go up. It's called.
Hey. Well, look. You start calling her coleslaw, and they're gonna go up even more.
Okay. With coleslaw, man.
Well, it was nice talking to
Okay.
you guys.
Hey, I sure
All
enjoyed.
right, John.
I enjoyed y'all.
Hey, hey,
Okay.
stay tuned. 9:30 Thursday. But I'm gonna put something on the Facebook tomorrow to see how we could, structure this a little bit more better. Maybe you guys could bring people in on your line and make it, more people on the line. I'm not sure how that works, but we got to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, this was a good discussion.
Okay. Part 1, part 2 coming up Thursday. I appreciate everybody. It's so black.
All right, y'all.
I stand
Okay.
Blessings.
Good
Thank
night.
you, Miss Dee
and
Dee.
All
It was
right.
You're welcome.
nice hearing from you, Miss Dee Dee and ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
All
ma'am.
of
you.
you all. Bless you.
all
Okay.
right.
God bless you
Good night.
too.
All right.
I,
Bless you, cousin Pete.
I appreciate the love.
You're welcome.
All right.
Thank you for having me, cousin
Oh,
P. Good night.
I I I sure appreciate you coming on and giving your wisdom, your understanding. Because
Thanks, Lady
one
Dee Dee.
person that ain't gonna change you stuck in your ways, but that's a great thing because that's your lane. And that's why they say everybody has a lane. And I
Right.
respect it. You got to respect it. It's a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I see y'all Thursday. So black and so beautiful. Peace.